Hi again. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller. And today we're going to be doing the second half of my What Sold video, which will be last weekend, November 15th through the 17th. And my sales were good. Very good. And I also had several really good sales on Poshmark, but nothing on Mercari. Nothing. I haven't sold anything on Mercari since November 5th, which is why I'm pretty sure I'm going to be done with them soon after the quarter. But I think anything you want to talk about yet? We're going to talk about,
Is it worth it?
is it worth it?
We had a couple questions in video comments to some previous videos, and they're absolutely valid, good questions that should be asked. And
we're going to talk about it
we're going to talk about it.
shortly.
I'm not sure if you're worth it.
Stop it. You can just go on right back upstairs.
No, I like hanging out with you. I just don't want people to think that.
Now, y'all, this was actually supposed to have been in the last video, but I forgot. This is actually a Bonanza sale that was on the 14th. This video's for the 15th through the 17th. Because I've only made 2 sales on Bonanza since Robert turned it back on. So, you know, I remembered that I had one, but I didn't go look. And this morning, for some reason, I remembered. It was a good sale. It is a baby gunned Oliver Chime Bear plush, and it sold for $29.95.
Bonanza, I wish all the other platforms worked like Bonanza, because there is no work. Once you turn it on, you don't have to do anything.
Nope.
It pulls all your items from your eBay store, posts it on Bonanza. If it sells on Bonanza, they take it down from there. If something sells on eBay, they take it off of Bonanza. So it's like cross-listing, but you don't have to do anything after the initial setup. It's pretty awesome.
Yep.
I just wish it sold more stuff.
No. 2 things in, well, this year. So
You
I don't
can't
know
say
how
this
long.
year.
You
Like-
probably turned it on in September.
Yeah,
or something like that. So,
Yeah,
but
so
yeah.
2-3 months.
My concern is right after this video's done, I need to go to List Perfectly and see if I took it off of there, because there's no connection there.
Oh, there is that. You do have to do that bit of work.
Yeah.
And you got to make sure that you pay attention to your email
Your messages.
or notifications if you have the app on your phone to actually, go ship the item.
Yep. All right. And then Poshmark. Quite a few sales on Poshmark. Finally.
I want to point something out here. We don't do free shipping on any of these. Not just on eBay, but on any of these. But somehow this only ever shows up in her videos under eBay.
Yep.
But on any of these, the buyer pays shipping on everything.
On everything.
We tried that one year. We sold more stuff and made less profit.
Yep. I think it was 2018. Yeah. Not worth it. My personal opinion. But, we all have to do our own business strategies. Some people swear by it. All right, so Poshmark. I just listed this on there. FisherPrice Little People Play and Go Circus sold for $20. And then these men's uniform pants sold for $20. Anytime we find these at yard sales and stuff, usually they're like $1 or $2. Oftentimes we found them with their tags. It's just they've either quit that job, outgrew them before, maybe, who knows the reasoning why, but a lot of times we find uniform pants.
They were from Alpaca.
Alpaca. All right, Lane Bryant Women's Bootcut jeans sold for $18. See, if you're noticing, what do I sell most of on Poshmark is clothes. I don't list as many clothes as I do other, the toys and stuff. I make sales of toys on Poshmark, but nothing compared to like eBay. And I think that's going to be one of the things we talk about is some people do really well on Poshmark because, they focus on the clothes. And I think that seems to sell more there than like the toys that I try to list on there, but they just don't sell.
We got a good deal on clothes the other day. Went to a thrift store we don't get to very often, and it was the Tao Kitchen garbage bag, fill it full of clothes for $10.
$10. So we picked up a lot of bread and butter jeans.
Pack them in there tight.
Roll
We
them
filled
up.
in some shirts and stuff too, but if I was just doing regular normal size jeans like we normally sell, I could probably get 15 in there, which would make the buy cost about 67 cents each.
Yep. Nice. Well, we don't go there very often, and it's not Of course, we went on a day that it was like 30 degrees outside and it was freezing in there. It's like a warehouse. All right, and then Levi's women's $5.29 curvy bootcut jeans sold for $18. And last but not least, a plush, which was a good sale. This is Tom and Jerry plush. I think these actually were from the High Bid Estate sale that I won many years ago. But these sold on Poshmark for $50. Tom and Jerry Hamilton gifts from 1990. I had one sale on Etsy, but y'all, Etsy has exploded for me. I'm 2 and 3 sales a day for the last several days. So it's been amazing. So of course that's where I'm focusing all of my cross listing right now.
You were just talking about how you weren't going to relist those on Etsy, talking trash about it. So we need to talk more trash about Etsy.
Maybe I'll get more sales. All right, this is a light bright refill kit from 1988. It had just farm animals and stuff in it. None of them had been used, and it sold for $19.95. And then eBay. I had a couple of comments on the video when I showed this in my haul. I actually picked up a boxed lot of these Tao Kitchen littles. Like you can see here, some of it was still sealed. I had several people say that I should keep the set together so somebody could buy it, but I actually opted to go ahead and split it up. This little set of, a few food items sold for $35.95. All right, Pokemon. I pick up a lot of Pokemon, but for the most part, they're usually bread and butter. I do like the Wicked Cool toys. They'll have a WCT on the tag. Those tend to do a little bit better for me. And this Larvitar sold for $17.95. House of Hatton. Love finding that brand. Don't find it very often. I don't even know. I just picked up 2 wreaths. I don't know if that video's been released yet. But I picked them up when we were down in Florida. I think I listed them for $60 or $70 each. I do really well with House of Hatton, especially this time of year. These 2 little basket ornaments sold for an offer of $18. Fiesta Blue Bud vase. This was little, 6 inches. Robert picked it up at some estate sale, I think. Didn't even realize it was Fiesta. And it sold for $22.91. Hershey's Christmas ornament. This was 1993. Kurt Adler. Just a cute little lamp. And it sold for $8.05. Columbia titanium women's shirt sold for $10. And then these boots had been listed for a really long time. They are J Shoes leather boots, sold for $20. FisherPrice Sesame Street Ernie hand puppet. Y'all know me. I'm going to pick up most things Sesame Street as long as they're in good condition. Ernie sold for $13.45, and it was a very quick sell. Arizona jeans, teddy bear plush. This one was like 20, let me look at the date, 2010. The buyer left me feedback already. I guess every year she buys her children something with the date of the year they were born. So she had left in the feedback that this was the last one she had been looking for. And it sold for $9. Sometimes, you got to think of, this is some of the reasons why this is some of the reasons why I buy some of these obscure brands. And sometimes they take a while, but then you have somebody who buys it.
All sorts of happiness going on.
Gap women's jeans bootcut sold for $13. Spark Create Imagine, that's a Walmart brand, 18-inch cat sold for $11.66. ChickfilA Cow Plush lot. That's what I've been doing. When I accumulate several of these, I go ahead and make a lot. I've got a new batch about to get listed. and they sell pretty well for me in lots. I had a couple that were still in their original bags. These sold for $22.45. An example of something I probably will not buy again. We love doing puzzles, but these older Milton Bradley and some of the other ones just do not sell well. This took forever, and it finally sold on an offer of $7.46. Builda Bear. I would have done better if I had taken the clothes off of this plush and sold them separately. And that's just, this was listed many years ago. I hadn't caught it in pictures that that's probably what I should have done. And it finally sold for $9.70. I probably could have put this outfit with another outfit and sold it for $14, $15. So keep that in mind when you're dealing with Builda Bear. A lot of times the plush aren't worth very much, and you'll do better just selling the clothes. Oster Regency Kitchen Center. Had several different lots of these put together. That's why there's a number 3 at the end of the description or title. And it sold for $17.95. Probably something we'll pick up on occasion, but we've really been backing off this type of stuff.
A lot of them are dirty. If
And
they're clean enough, I'll do
Yeah.
it. But they're just a hassle when they're dirty because things get down into those little crevices, and you don't want to sell it with that stuff in there. It's just too much work.
No project pieces. No projects. Famous last words though, right? Just showed this recently in a haul video. I had an American Girl bitty baby doll with this dress on it. I actually forgot I had the dress. It was in a pile of stuff that needed washed. So I went ahead and listed the doll. I think I've already sold the doll. So then I went ahead and just listed the dress or the gown with the bonnet. And it sold instantly. $17.95. Love American Girl. All right, this is a viewer sale. Alexandria took advantage of Robert sending out deep discounted offers. She got these Aeropostal women's jeans for $5.77. So thanks a lot, Alexandria. Hallmark wolf plush. I'll pick up a lot of dogs plush. Hallmark, you know, it's hit and miss. Sometimes I do really well, and then sometimes it takes forever. And this one finally sold for $9.86. But I just was telling you in the last video, those rabbits with the dates on their feet or the bears with writing on the feet, definitely check the comps. This is Inter-American Products Pink Rabbit Plush, sold for $11.66. FisherPrice Little People Circus Animals. These are from the older sets, but not the vintage. Sold for $8. This was a nice sale. Do you even remember where we picked this up? I think it was at a church sale. It was unmarked, no tags, possibly handmade, but it was alpaca women's jacket, and it sold for $35.71.
Church sale seems right.
I think I remember that. I think that's where I also bought something else that was big that I've sold. But yeah, let's see. It had some, you know, it had some condition issues, but $35, nice. Looney Tunes Bugs Bunny picture frame. This is actually little, 4-inch from 1997. Sold for $10.95. Eric Carl finger puppets. This is one of those instances I pick these up at the bins, and then as I find more and more, I'll keep adding to the lot. Even if it's duplicates, that's fine with me. These 3 sold for $11.66. And then this person bought 3 of my FisherPrice dollhouse items. She bought the ballerina girl, the gray horse that made sounds, and one of the bathroom sets. And she paid $38.56 for the 3. And then, is it worth cross-listing? Yes, I complain about my sales on these other platforms because, you know, I know what I make on eBay, and I just wished that if I had everything listed on those platforms that they would do better, but they don't. I don't have everything listed, but I have a large number of items on these platforms.
We have, let's just say it's nearly 12,000. Let's say we have 12,000 items on eBay. It's roughly that, almost. If we have 4,000 items on Poshmark, are you there yet?
I think I'm about there,
You're
maybe.
about, so it's a third. So if we ship, let's say 15 items a day on eBay, then we should be shipping 5 items every day on Poshmark. I know Poshmark doesn't have the buyer base that eBay does, but you just kind of wish, you kind of dreamy, like every now and then I get a random idea to go buy a Powerball ticket, and you have this dreamy idea that you're going to match the numbers.
Yeah.
And this is kind of our reseller lottery ticket here that, why can't Poshmark or Mercari that we have all those items on, or Bonanza that has every single eBay item? Well, there are some they won't list, but that's a small number, 50 or something, because they think it violates some of their policies or something. They're trying to sell a dog or whatever. But we just wish they would sell more.
So this is the sales and analytics page from List Perfectly, showing in the last 30 days what my sales are on for all of the platforms. There's eBay, which is almost 92% of the money that I make is on eBay. But Etsy and Poshmark, I've done pretty good. I am almost $1,200 on the 3 platforms. So yes, it's been worth it for me, and I hope it's worth it for others who choose to do this. I just lament about the numbers. I just wished it was more.
Part of it is other people will comment and say, I do better on Mercari than I do eBay, or I do better on Poshmark than eBay. And why doesn't it work for us? It's a little frustrating. Mm-hmm. And they're probably thinking, why doesn't eBay work for me the way it works for y'all? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the mix, the price, the buyer mix. Who knows why?
Yeah. So I wanted to show people that it is worth it. And I'm never going to tell you guys to use one of my links for something that I don't truly believe in. All of the things that we show down in the video comments are things that we use.
Video description.
Yeah, the video description. We use these items.
Or have used them in the past and have either moved on to something else or no longer have a need for it.
Right. So, just so you know, it does work.
And
give it a chance.
And everybody has to decide,
is it worth the money?
Is it worth it? If you haven't tried it, you get a free couple of week or 2 weeks or whatever. I don't know what their free trial is.
I forget.
Or you can try it for a month, and if it's working, great. If not, don't. Everybody needs to determine if the time they're spending on that is worth the time, the money they're getting out of it. I want to go back to, we won't recommend things that we don't believe in. The camera that we're recording with is a Sony camera. Love the camera. Love it. It's on a I can't call it a tripod. It's on a stick that bends in a couple places and then mounts to this table. And I bought it because money was tight, so I bought an off-brand. I didn't buy a big fancy name brand because Rebel makes us be frugal with our money like we should be.
Yes.
And I got it, and I have never liked this thing.
Mm-mm.
It works. It's worked for 3 years now.
But I don't like
break. It. One of the knobs is breaking, but I don't like it. So you have never heard me mention the name of this thing.
Mm-mm.
Or it's not listed in our stuff because I don't like it. I'm not going to put it down there.
All right, and then...
Wait, I want to go back to one more. There's another thing. A year and a half ago, there was a shipping supply reseller, one of the companies that sells shipping supplies. I've seen ads for them and stuff like that. And they reached out to us and said, hey, we'll give you some free stuff every month. We'll give you an affiliate link and try our products and do a video about us, and this will be great. And I looked at their stuff, and it was more expensive than what we were buying elsewhere. And we recently had to, American Bubble Boy, loved their stuff, ran out of tape. They were back ordered. We needed tape, so I went and bought a 6-pack from this company. It wasn't as good.
And they messed up our order. They made it right, but they messed up our order.
But it just wasn't, the tape wasn't as good, so we're not going to...
You will never see us advertise for these others, and I get lots of messages, but unless I think it's a good thing to talk about, it's not going to get talked about at all. All right, and then, sorry y'all, this is taking a little bit.
She blames that on me because I don't shut up, she says.
Then I had another comment, in a recent video saying, how can I make any money selling stuff for $8 to $10?
We've had this question before,
and it's good to review it.
It's good to review it for people that are new.
Yes. So I talk about my bread and butter stuff. I sell a lot of stuff, $8 to $12. I sell some stuff less, and I sell a lot of stuff for more, but I sell a lot in that price range. And I'm going to get Robert to pull the numbers at some point real soon to share how much I made selling items for like $12 and less. But here is an example. I sold this Walmart duck plush for $10. Now again, this person made a comment that, after you pay shipping and fees and yada yada, they would be in the negative. Like I said before, I don't do free shipping. So this buyer also paid my flat rate shipping of $4.95. That's for anything that's going to be shipped in the 8-ounce range. I just charge flat.
Under 8 ounces.
Yeah, under 8 ounces, $4.95. So here is the breakdown. All right, so they paid $10 for the item, $4.95 for shipping, and then sales tax. But we don't ever see sales tax. You see it in the breakdown. The sales tax is removed.
So the buyer paid a total of $15.58.
I paid transaction fees of $2.13. That's 13-14% that we all pay. My shipping label was $4.37, which means I made a little less than 60 cents additional on that label. And then I actually paid my 8% promotion fee of $1.25. So on this order, I earned $7.20. Y'all, this was probably a bins pickup. Might have paid a quarter for it. It was just a little 6-inch plush. So I would have made about $6.95 on something that I paid a quarter for.
That's a couple other things we need to consider in the cost here. It went in a poly bag to store it, a nickel, probably for the size it was. Even if let's just say it's 10 cents. And then 10 cents for the poly mailer that it went out in.
Nope, it would have gone out in a box because it had a sound box in it.
Okay, so our cheapest boxes are about 35 cents.
Yeah.
And so we're talking 45 cents off of the 720, so you're looking at $6.75 in profit on this.
Yeah. And I do that over and over and over again, and it all adds up. It all adds up. So it's worth it for me. This stuff is easy to list, easy to store, easy to ship. Not everybody wants to put in any work if they're only going to make $6 and something, but I like the niche that I sell in, and I sell a whole lot of bread and butter.
And we don't find a lot of things around here that are worth a lot of money.
Play school spinning ball popper top toy. I used to pick this up all the time, and a lot of sensory teachers, special ed teachers, have these in their classrooms. It's just very, getting a child to, do stuff to make a reaction from a toy. I had one of these in my classroom, but I don't find them very often, and now they take a very long time to sell. But back in the day when I was teaching, I sold a lot of these to teachers. This finally sold, though, for $14.36. Oster Regency kitchen center dough hooks. This is the time of year that people are starting to do a whole lot of baking, and they realize they've lost their dough hooks, they've lost one beater, and they're going to come to eBay looking for replacements. This set sold for $8.96. Cato women's pants sold for $13.21. Russ Home Buddies. Love picking these up. They are all terry cloth, which for some reason I don't even have that in my description there or in my title. And I've got mine sitting back there on the cash register. This one sold for $26.95. It's definitely one of the more common ones, and they sell every time I pick them up. Bugle Boy. Bugle Boy, y'all. These are vintage jeans, sold for $26.71, and they were hemmed. You can tell they have been hemmed, and I put that amount, the inseam amount and the word hemmed in the title.
I'm terrible about noticing when things have been hemmed. So many things I
Yeah.
picked up and she said that. Bugle Boy men's, one thing I've noticed in a lot, and if you sell many clothes, you probably know this, men's jeans and clothes in general seem to sell better on eBay than women. Anytime I look up jeans to see the sell-through rate, men's jeans almost always sell faster than women's jeans, have a better sell-through rate.
Yep. Gabby Toy Dog Plush, another really old listing. Finally sold $8.96. Manhattan Toys Brown Deer Plush. Don't sell for a lot for the most part. I love them. I'll continue to pick them up. I just think they're really awesome toys. And this one sold for $8.96. Polo Ralph Lauren green quarter zip sweater sold for $19.99. Mattel Emotions Brown Bear Plush. Took forever to sell again. I'm trying to be way more particular with bears. This one I finally took an offer of $20 for it. BKE, love finding these jeans. They sell very well for me. These were Jake men's bootcut jeans and they sold for $32.14. White House Black Market women's jeans sold for $15.94.
I'm kind of killing a little bit of time here looking at Facebook, or actually this isn't Facebook. This is just a little chat group I'm in with some friends.
Mm.
And apparently there's a DiGiorno Thanksgiving pizza. It looks like it's a Walmart. Maybe it's not. No, it's not Walmart. But it's got roasted turkey, green beans, crispy onions, dried cranberries, and gravy drizzle on a Detroit-style crust.
See my face?
I'm getting one of them if I can find it. I just got to see.
Gross. All right, FisherPrice replacement pink windows sold for $26.95. I will pick up these dollhouses at yard sales. They can be in the worst condition. I do not really care because I'm going to pull the windows and the doors off. And I can usually get them for $1 or $2. And if they have the bonus furniture, that's even better. I think these two were in a recent haul video. They were in terrible condition. I'm almost thinking they were in one of the red, white, and blue bags that I shared with you guys. But they were rough. I washed them, but, the gray one has a spot on its chest, and their fur just seemed in rough condition. I went ahead and listed them. And together, and they sold together for $26.95. Toys R Us Dragon, $11.66. This is a viewer sale, so thanks so much, Gabby. Gabby, as soon as she saw this Ruth Bader Ginsburg doll in one of my recent hauls, she waited for me to get it listed and purchased it very quickly, $8.96. So thanks again, Gabby. Simply Vera Wang women's leggings sold for $10. This is Ideal Toys Direct, not a brand I pick up very often. I think it was just the fact that it was a cute, kind of almost manga, anime looking face. And it took about 10 months to sell, $8.16. Old Navy women's denim jeans. Anytime I find them, I pick them up, and it doesn't really matter what brand. They tend to sell for me. This one sold for $13.21. This was a nice sell. North American Bear Long John Sleepyhead plush. Had a little rattle in it. Sold for $35.95. Sleepyville Critters Sloth Backpack. I tend to pick up most plush that are backpacks. This one sold for $13. This is one of those oops purchases. I didn't realize when I picked it up that it had been personalized. Listed it just last month, and when I got an offer, I knew I just make it gone because it was personalized. It was gonna be a hard seller. So I took an $18 on this Dakin Lamb Lovey. I think normally probably could have been $40 or $50 if it hadn't been personalized. This is a nylon snowman Christmas stocking. It was for the May department store. Vintage sold for $19.76. Just Born Peeps Plush Lot. I make lots of these. These were a little bit different. They were the minis. They were little and sold for $19.76. This is University of Tennessee Smokey the Dog Hanging Plush, sold for $23.35. Loft Women's Sweater Dress, sold for $14.29. Santa's Best, love that brand. This is Tigger Christmas Stocking, and it sold for $15.25. And then my best sell of the weekend was this, I guess, Natto Donkey Horse Lovey Plush, sold for my full price of $69.95. And looking at the custom label, this was picked up the first time we ever went up to Connecticut. So it was either Connecticut or the New York Rochester bins that I picked this up. Took a while, but $70 for a plush, y'all. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope it helps those of you who are, possibly considering using List Perfectly to cross-list, or any cross-listing platform or cross-listing tool. That, it might be worth it for you. You just have to figure out what's going to sell best on certain platforms and then give it a try. Give it a try. I would hope that you would try List Perfectly, because we've tried them all. We really have. And so far, we still prefer List Perfectly. All right, y'all. Get to work. Bye.